I want to talk about what's called balconies and basements. And this gets very much to Andrew's point. And you couldn't have said it better, Andrew. He said that he's very good at spotting strengths, but he's also very good at spotting weaknesses. And so this is an example. So anyone got futuristic here? Futuristic, excellent. And my son Adam does too. Very interested in the future and all the possibilities that might hold. So the good thing about that is this. So Elon Musk is your poster child, you know, creative, inspirational, you know, just amazing. But if you overplay your strengths, if you use it too much, if you rely on it too much, it can then become a weakness, or what's called a basement. So this is the basement version of futuristic.
Is it relevant that it's a bloke up there and a girl down there?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. She's got attitude. But we all have our balconies and basements. And so if you turn to the back page of your handout, you'll see the balcony is in upper caps and the basements is in lower caps. So Andrew, just read out what maximizer is in terms of the balcony and the basement on the back. On the back of this, right in the back. Yeah, sorry. So what's the balcony of maximizer?
Optimizer.
Optimizer, and what's the downside? What's the playing it too much?
Never satisfied.
Never satisfied. And if you read the detailed description of maximizer, because I'm a maximizer as well, you are good at spotting strengths, but you also notice weaknesses as well. Mm. So just go through and circle your top 5 on the list on the back there, so that you know. Remember, the caps is the balcony, and lowercase is the basement. Dave?
Just got another question about doing the test again.
Yeah.
When I did, I went through and I missed 1 or 2 questions. I wasn't quick enough, so I tried to speed up, but then I found myself often sitting right in the middle. Yeah. And at the end it said that obviously it could affect my results, that I sat in the middle a lot of the time, so I thought maybe I should do it again.
If you find that you haven't answered it in time, don't worry about it. Don't try and speed up, because the algorithm will reframe the question. Right. So it'll ask it again in a different way, so you will still answer that question, it'll just be framed differently.
Okay, that's good to know.
But what happens if you looked, it said this and said that, and I say, well, I'm both those. Yeah, so then you go in the middle.
Yeah, you can do that, and that's fine. If you do that too many times, you will get a warning at the end that says, because you've answered neutral for a lot of your responses, these may not be an accurate reflection of your true strengths.
It's like any of those assessments, you just got to go with your gut feel. Don't deliberate, bang.
Well, I found myself in neutral territory a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a warning at the end saying, oh, you're too neutral.
Yeah,
So
probably good then.
Yeah.
So this is, this is an example for achiever. Any achievers here? Achievers? Driven people? Karen, who seems to have slipped out. Karen is an achiever, and she's very, very driven. About 18 months ago, she got the opportunity to head the research section of Cancer Council, a much, much bigger job than she had before. She took that on. At the same time, she said, I think I'm going to run the Oxfam 100 kilometres. And that's what achievers do, because it's unbalanced. But the beautiful part about this is a spouse, and I'm sure, because Kate works with her husband as well, Sam, is that you can have a language that isn't derogatory. It's just saying, I just said to Karen, I understand why you're taking on this role. It's a big step up. I know you want to make a big difference. I can see that. But don't you think it's a bit teensy, bit ambitious to at the same time train for a 100-kilometre race? And she said, yeah, you're right. So you want to give an example, Kate, about working with your husband?
Yes. So my husband, our strengths are completely opposite. So he has futuristic, activator, significance, command and focus. And an example of his activator, I guess, is that he's a visionary. He's also futuristic. He's an entrepreneur, so he's coming up with 1,000,001 ideas every day. But because of activator, he will want to activate on those ideas every day as well. And so us managing a team and managing staff, it's a bit of a nightmare, and I have to keep on saying, you know what, that's a fantastic idea. Let's think about that later, and maybe we'll just pull it back and bring it back later. So yeah, I've had to we just say get out of the basement.
No, fantastic.
So, yeah.
And likewise, if your kids are old enough as well, like my kids are both, in their 20s now, and they both have very, very different strengths. Adam, as you heard, is very much in the sciences, and Melissa is a brilliant writer and filmmaker and creative, like very, very different. But, if you coach using their strengths or talk to them using their strengths, the chance of them taking it forward is much, much greater. What's the youngest that you would recommend someone doing?
The actual Strengths Finder, I would say around 16 years old, but there are 2 other assessments as well. There's Strengths Quest and Strengths Explorer. So Strengths Quest is made for children around the age of 8 up to 13, 14, and Strengths Explorer is around 13 up to 18. So they're different. They give the top 3 rather than the top 5, and they're a lot more simplified, and they are designed to be taken again when you get to the age of having the Strengths Finder assessment. But I recommend everyone get their kids to do it.
And the VIA actually has a very modified thing for strengths, which, a 10-year-old can do. And it's wonderful. It's seriously wonderful. And, there is lots of challenges on kids' self-esteem in schools, and for them to actually read and reflect on what's good about them is just sensational.